sure you'd like to take over the case yourself?
That's right.
No, but why? Technically speaking, cases like this are better left to the guards.
Neuvillette! Sedine! Hey there! What are you two talking about?
Ugh, Traveler in Paimon, please help me talk our Chief Justice out of this. He wants to investigate a case on his own. This is completely unprecedented. How can we have the Udex acting like a private detective?
I trust that you'd be able to work that out with how well connected you are, but I must apologize. I do not plan on relying on anyone else's help for this matter.
So, what is it exactly?
A Melusine named Kiara received a threat letter.
And then?
That is all the information I have.
I have no idea why you're so... I've checked the schedule in advance, and it seems like there aren't any trials today. So, if you insist... I have no objection.
Thank you for understanding.
Then I shall return to my post for now. Should anyone visit while you are away, I will be sure to make a record of it. I sincerely hope that you will return soon.
Judging from Sedine's reaction, it must be pretty rare for you to investigate stuff personally.
I cannot tell you just yet, but it reminded me of certain past events. There could be complicated conflicts of interest behind all this, so I must eliminate all risks in advance.
Come on, stop being so secretive! We still have—
It is not my intention to keep you in the dark, but long story short, a little more than 400 years ago, I became the Udex of Fontaine and initiated a series of institutional reforms. There were few people I could trust, but I had two subordinates who were exceptionally trustworthy and capable. Carol, a Melusine, and Vautrin, leader of the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol.
They must have been amazing people to
Indeed. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to protect them. The reforms damaged the interests of some. In the more conservative faction, the incident resulted in Carol taking her own life, and Vautrin being exiled. From then on, I've been especially careful when dealing with cases related to Melusines. All Melusines used to live a secluded life away from human society. I granted their wishes when some of them, including Carol, asked me to bring them to the court of Fontaine. Many common folk believe that I share a special bond with the Melusines. Some of them, especially those who hold a grudge against me, exploit that belief. I have nothing against the opinions of others. It has already happened once.
Even so, why do you have to be the one? There's the guards, the Maréchaussée Phantom, and the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol. Aren't they—
Based on prior experience, there is a high chance that those who hold hostility towards me do not belong. The political system of Fontaine is relatively complex. However, since I am technically an outsider in Fontaine, a lot of trouble could be avoided if I personally took on the—
Outsider? But aren't you the Chief Justice of Fontaine?
I understand where you are coming from, but there is not necessarily a— You know very well about my true identity, and have even met others of my kind in other nations. Even though I was born with a human form, there is a fundamental difference between dragons and humans. Taking on the role of Chief Justice does not make me a part of this community. In fact, I have lived in Fontaine for a long time, but I do not belong here. That is why I—
Yeah, we have nothing to do with all those organizations anyway. So how about we come with you on your investigation? Let's team up and round up all the bad guys lurking in the dark.
That does not sound like a bad idea.
Oh, Paimon's starting to get a little—
Let us go. We should visit Kiara first and try to gain a better understanding of the situation.
So Neuvillette feels like he doesn't truly belong here in Fontaine, but is that really true? Paimon feels like he has a kind of— Paimon's been thinking. You called yourself a fish out of water, right? But since you're the Hydro Dragon, would a dragon out of water suit you better?
Thank you for your suggestion. I will consider using the more accurate term in private occasions. Please allow me to rephrase. As a dragon,
kind of weird. Let's stick with the previous version instead.
I wonder when I'll be as... Everyone is working super hard. We should be too.
Feel free to check the Aquabus map and schedule for details.
Looks like we're running out of Type 3 scores.
Fine, if you can't afford it, then just give me the photo back.
Go, Barbara, go! The weather's amazing today.
Kiara,
Monsieur Neuvillette! And you are? Oh, I remember. You're the Traveler and Paimon. I've heard about you.
Aw, she's adorable! Hey there, it's nice to meet you.
Thanks for the compliment.
I heard from Sidine that you received a
A threatening letter. The letter fell through the crack in my door as I was heading out this morning. It said something about but Sidine told me it was a threatening letter and that I could be in danger. But
Have you run into any suspicious...
suspicious-looking people? What counts as suspicious? Ah!
Did you think...
Nope. I don't remember.
Do you still have the letter with you?
Oh, let's see. Found it.
Now then, get lost. If you don't leave the Maréchaussée Phantom, I will come and catch you in person. Don't say I didn't warn you. A simple threat. Neither the handwriting nor the content itself reveals anything about the writer's intent. We can't rule out that possibility. Since you can't think of anyone suspicious, I will be heading back to the Palais. Kiara, you should come with us.
Sure. Wait, no. I still have a case to...
But you are being watched right now.
And that's where we come in to help. We'll stay with Kiara and make sure she's safe. With us around, anyone scheming to hurt Kiara can forget about it.
Thank you, Traveler. Big sis Paimon.
Oh.
All right, let us go our separate ways.
We'll take her to a lost place right away. So, Kiara, how old are you?
Let me think. 1, 2, 10? I can't remember. But...
This world is full of unsolved mysteries.
Carol, did Neuvillette mention her just now? That was more than 400 years ago. Why would Paimon be a big sister to you?
my memory isn't that good. But Carol told me I could address others based on how I feel about them. Paimon feels a lot more grown up than me, so you're a big sis.
Huh. Hi, Muncies. Hey, Traveler, did you hear that? Strange.
Olaf!
Kiara, you're here. Huh? Wait, aren't these two?
Oh, they're the traveler.
I thought so. What brings you here? Did you run into any trouble?
It's not really troubling.
May I begin inspecting?
Of course.
No hazards detected.
That was quick. What were you?
I took a look around the shop. Neuvillette says that osmelazines have special eyes that can see things like bloodstains. No matter how hard you try to clean them.
All right. Now that you're done, hear me out. I'm planning to release an outfit for children next month and wanted to hire you as my...
Of course!
Please wait a moment while I take your measurement.
Seems like they get along, huh? What are you looking at? Is there really someone watching us? Shh!
Strange. Why isn't he back yet?
Gotcha! Ah! Charlotte, what are you doing here? Oh, wait, don't tell Paimon you're the one who sent...
Threat letter? What this is starting to feel like an interrogation. Okay,
You want to interview him?
that's right. I'm not the only one, you know. But it's not an easy task to accomplish. So imagine how surprised I was seeing him out on the streets today. It seemed like you were investigating something too. Of course, I'll make sure to turn in my manuscript to him for review. I have my principles, and I'd never publish an article without the consent of all parties involved.
Yeah, we're doing a secret investigation that can't...
I see. Well, in exchange, could you tell...
All right.
What?
Shh, not so loud.
It just so happens that I did an interview with Kiara. Last month, in fact. It was well received by our readers, so I was planning to continue the series. And now I'll ask my colleagues about it. Who knows? We might find something. And don't worry, but I gotta warn you, even if I keep my lips sealed,
Why?
people care a great deal about Monsieur Neuvillette's each and every move. Some may have already realized that something was up. Besides, anyway, I'll get going.
Well, that was a nice chat.
What do you think? The design looks pretty good, huh?
I think it's great!
Huh. It's very pretty indeed.
Haran! What are you doing here? It seems that you just...
As I passed by the Palais Mermonia, I heard that, technically speaking, he and I are under an employer-employee relationship. I happen to have some time at the moment, and came to take a look. I sometimes have my clothes custom-made at this boutique, in any case, so we always have a lot to talk about.
Neuvillette, sure.
Leave this to me. You should go meet up with Neuvillette.
Okay, then, we'll leave.
Oh, you're back. Is everything all right?
We ran into Cloran. She offered...
That is good to hear. I trust her abilities.
We thought so too.
I've been looking over the case records, specifically inspection reports submitted by Kiara and major cases I have judged over the past decade. I have come up with two plans. On one hand, I could start with Kiara and track down the group behind all this step by step. On the other, I could also analyze the conflicting interests of these major cases and confirm my suspicions if there is indeed a mysterious group.
They both sound like pretty solid plan.
Don't worry. I'm a fast reader when it comes to official documents. After all, I have several hundred years of reviewing under my belt.
We'll help you read through them.
Thank you. I will continue. Have you made any progress?
We skipped through some of them, but there wasn't... Oh, there's so many documents lying around.
I would love to answer that question, but the truth is I've never made a precise calculation myself. If memory serves me right, there should be at least 100,000 cases. The documents you see are just a small fraction of...
Whoa, that's a lot. Looks like the work of a Chief Justice isn't easy at all.
That might be how it seems from another's perspective, but trials and official duties are to... There are many documents here. Take a... All right, let us take a break then.
Even though resting at all the silence is making Paimon...
Please pardon my lack of Would you like to have some drink?
Ooh, drinks! Thank you! Paimon wonders what Neuvillette likes to drink. He seems like the type of person who'd own an entire winery. You know, like Diluc. What's inside these glasses? It looks just like water.
An astute observation. It is indeed water.
So it's just plain old...
What did you think it was? This water is indeed very special. I believe you've already tried Fanta. In fact, there are many other drink factories, and said water is sourced from all across Teyvat, including Mondstadt's Cider Lake, Liyue's Chintsa Village, and Inazuma's Konda Village. Here is one of their latest products, water from Sumeru's Apam Woods. If I were to comment on their mouthfeel, the waters of Cider Lake warm the heart, the waters of Chintsa Village have a poignant touch, while one might call the waters of Konda Village distinct differences exist between...
Really? Let Paimon try!
What do you think? How regrettable.
Hey, this doesn't have to do with refining our taste. Oh, could it be because you're the Hydro Dragon? We are allowed to bring that up, right? Oh, Paimon's been wanting to ask this for ages. If you're the Hydro Dragon, why would you... Sorry. Paimon was just...
There's nothing to hide. I was simply I accepted this position because I wanted to seek out answers to questions that have perplexed me.
Questions? Are there really things you...
Many, in fact. But the one question that puzzles me the most, in essence, I neither know why I was born in this form, nor do I understand where my long life... For a long time, my memory was rather incomplete. With regard to the primordial sea, for example, I used to only be able to vaguely recall its connection to me, but I was unaware of what that connection was exactly. Perhaps the elemental dragons of other nations may have some form of an answer. However, they are scattered across all of Teyvat. Abruptly visiting could very well pose an unpredictable risk.
True. Some of them have very... unique personalities.
I have been holding on to these unanswered questions, but there is one thing I've discovered along the way. My guess would be that there are at least some similarities between humans and myself.
Have you made any progress?
Perhaps, but I find such progress difficult. That's why I'm quite thankful for this chat.
Are we gonna continue reading...
I wasn't able to find any leads.
Water? Do you mean...
That's right. The Fountain of Lucine is where all of Fontaine's waters converge. If there really were an organization attempting, perhaps we'll be able to find some new leads by sensing the hydro element within the fountain.
Why did...
Perhaps we should go. There shouldn't be too many people.
Monsieur Neuvillette?
I probably shouldn't disturb them.
Looks like we got lucky today. There's hardly anyone around.
What should we do next? Traveler, can you still hear the voices from the fountain?
Perhaps leave the investigation to me.
A safe distance? Oh, it's glowing! Thank you for bringing us here, Monsieur Neuvillette. The The court of Fontaine is truly incredible.
I understand your excitement, but although I have responded to your wishes, it was not without personal interest. Melusine's special sight make them especially suited for joining the Maréchaussée Phantom.
I know, but not only can I repay you,
But a meaningful life also.
it's definitely the safe. In truth, I've never really understood for almost 20 years. We've stayed in our village without finding any answer.
I understand your I too came here for an answer.
Really? Could you tell us? The truth is, many people threw rocks at us today and told us to go back to our village. It hurt a lot when they hit me in the head, and I tried really hard not to cry.
Logically speaking, both time and different identities and ways of thinking there aren't many suggestions I can share.
Oh, I see. I'm confident that we'll find the meaning of our existence.
I believe in you, but you shouldn't lose sight of the difficulties ahead. If you run into any trouble, I suggest that you inform Vautrin, the captain.
Huh? Is
Yes? Do you have it?
that stone-faced human? He didn't even bother to look at me when I tried.
He is an earnest man.
Hello. Can I help with anything?
Thanks, but no need.
Oh. Hello. I'm Carol.
Get away from here! I'm calling the guards.
Please calm down.
Hard to
Yeah, we should probably stay away from these monsters. Haven't you?
Why should we trust this species from who knows where anyway? I can't believe Neuvillette.
Exactly. That so-called Chief Justice even granted them official positions. Not only that, but they're now responsible for—
Go away!
I'm not leaving. I won't rejoin the Maréchaussée Phantom and solve the lot.
Solving cases? With So tell me, how can you guarantee that you Melusines aren't involved in anything that occurred?
Didn't I tell you before? Don't go advertising if you're not a good top.
Vautrin?
Aside from spreading unjustified rumors, if you continue, there have indeed been an increase in cases recently. Perhaps due to the shifting currents of conspiracy. And I understand.
Even the captain of the security patrol is on their side.
How can two completely different species possibly coexist?
You heard that?
Yeah. I don't understand.
There have been rumors saying that you were born from calamity, and that you inherently bring danger to those around you. There are countless negative rumors about you floating around in Fontaine. It's near—
Monsieur Neuvillette said that we needed to put both time. I still want to try a little harder. Okay, I won't be taking—
Give them to me.
You're not—
We'll hand them out together. The faster we get this done.
Neuvillette, what's this?
Medals of Peace, awarded to you and Vautrin. Thank you for your continued dedication.
I think I'll pass.
Hey, don't say that. It won't be long before Melusine—
Don't keep your hopes up.
Vautrin brings up a good point. Please be on your guard.
Yes, sir.
Okay, go.
Medal of Peace?
Are you sure we should do this? We're no match for Neuvillette, even with—
Nah, not gonna happen. As long as there are rules even he must comply with in the political sphere. So quit worrying and just go ahead with it. I've already planned out.
I guess you're right. Ugh.
Turn the murderer in!
Melazines can't be trusted! That goes for Neuvillette, too!
Peaceful coexistence? What a joke! Get out of the court of Fontaine and don't ever come back!
The results of the investigation are in, Captain Vautrin.
Go on.
There is no direct evidence, but reasonable inference they tricked Miss Carroll into going to the crime scene and pressed charges against her. After that, they incited panic among the people in order to make Monsieur Neuvillette confess. The guards were stopped by the enraged mob and couldn't intervene in time. Miss Carroll chose to sacrifice herself to pacify the situation.
And she called me a blockhead. A little investigation would have cleared things up. Why didn't she wait until we'd established the truth?
The situation had rapidly escalated to a physical altercation between Captain Vautrin, should I present these results?
There's no need. Notify the guards to restrict public access.
Restrict access?
There's something I've never told Carol. I had a little sister named Ilaria who passed away when I was... She's just like Carol in every possible way. Innocent. From the moment I met Carol, I knew that she'd be easily manipulated.
Looks like she was unfazed by that.
Yes. In fact, I should have known. Those cowards don't have the guts to... Can you understand how I feel? Right now...
I understand, but I'm certain, Monsieur...
That's exactly why we need to keep this a secret. Give me... I will take responsibility for everything.
Did you know? They're hearing a major case today, and the criminal is Captain Vautrin of the Special Security and Surveillance. Apparently, he resorted to personal... I'm thinking... we should try our best... Bail him out?
Shh, keep it down! Haven't you realized? Besides, now that the old regime has been uprooted, Neuvillette's...
Vautrin sought vengeance for his friend for... Please, think about it! If the same thing had...
Yeah, that's right!
This whole thing started because of those despicable cowards who levied false accusations against Carol. How could Vautrin be...
Monsieur Neuvillette.
Mr. Vautrin is innocent! He's innocent!
Order! I acknowledge your arguments. Vautrin, your revenge could be... I understand your decision. Personal justice does not equate to... Therefore...
What?
That can't be! Monsieur Neuvillette, please...
Vautrin, my friend.
Neuvillette, what have I done to deserve this? Is this what justice...
Order. Since there have been no further objections, according to the judgment of the oratory...
Goodbye, Monsieur Neuvillette.
This all happened because of Carol's naive idea.
How can different
Apologies, it seems like my memories got the better of me. I tried my best to suppress the power of Hydro within myself, but it seems like it's still caused due to my negligence. The overflow of emotions and memories must have affected you as well. Are you all right?
Wow. The Hydro Dragon. Anyways, the last time we came here, the Traveler only heard voices from the Fountain of Lucine. No emotions boiling over or anything.
It is as you said. It is not only the fountain. I can sense
That sounds
but I rarely ever do anything like this. Emotions carried by water are always... Which ones? It's fine. It was a coincidence, but perhaps it is a... You should now understand why I believe...
Paimon, don't leave Paimon out of the conversation.
Then let us get back to the point. While I was investigating the fountain, I did not sense too much hatred. I don't know what caused this to happen, but it seems like there won't. However, I did find some resentment directed towards Kiara. If I remember...
Oh! Didn't we read...
You've read about it. In that case, the resentment should have come from that incident.
Huh? What are you doing here? I was just about to look for you at the Palais Mermonia.
Navia! Nice to see you again!
I've heard some things, but I'm not purposely... Rumors are abroad that someone's scheming against Melusines, and that you're investigating the case. So I told the Spina di Rosula to keep an eye out for leads.
Thank you. Where did you hear about...
The Chief Justice out on investigation, accompanied by the Traveler from afar. No matter how you talked to Kiara, but didn't ask her to keep things secret. People curious to know asked around for information.
So that's what Charlotte...
Indeed. I did not expect that...
You know, it could be Anyway, any progress with the...
The suspects who threatened Kiara might have to do with a We are planning to return to the Palais Mermonia.
All right, then I'll round up the Spina di Rosula and wait for my word. Ta-ta!
Neuvillette, do you...
I have already considered that possibility, and what is more important is how the case... I hope the same won't happen again.
Strange. What are these people doing out on the streets so late at night? Did something happen? Let's take a look around.
Have you heard? Someone's plotting against a Melusine! This is 100% the truth. Even the Chief Justice is in...
What? That's it! Our enemies are lurking in the shadows and won't easily
That's exactly what I wanted to say. Think about how much we owe them.
Everyone, please stay alert to your surroundings from now on.
It feels like you've been following me this whole...
We were informed that.
Nope. We just finished our ship.
Have you had dinner yet?
Why This isn't a good time.
Come on. Don't act tough.
All right.
You shouldn't ever skip meals. Especially...
I heard even Neuvillette's keeping an eye on the situation. This is the perfect chance to get promoted.
Seriously? Were you planning to shirk your duties if...
Relax, I was just playing. We've worked together for years now.
That's more like it. We should stand guard until the criminal...
Come and fight me instead, you cow...
Have you heard? Even the special patrol...
Shh! Look! Is it that Neuvillette?
Looks like there's nothing to worry about.
This is truly...
So...
No, I should stay where I am. Let us stick to our plan and return to the... The smuggling case was solved by the joint forces of the guards and the Marechaussee Phantom. The list of involved suspects should be...
What does it say?
The principal offenders Domenico, Inica, Yuna, and others have been caught. They have been sent to the fortress of Meropide following trial. Those with close connections or mutual interests with the offender. Among them, surveillance of Essin has ceased on account of his good behavior. All...
So many names.
Yes, there is something suspicious about Essin, to be precise. It seems like he's closely related to the core members of the smuggling case, and he moves around without much restriction.
Monsieur Neuvillette, someone claiming to be from the Spina di Rosula just checked in with us. He said, and I quote, "We have located the suspect. They're chatting at..."
Huh? How did Navia find them so quick?
I too am perplexed. The cafe isn't too far from here.
Whoa. Check out all the...
These are the people who have had recent dealings at the Marechaussee Phantom. They're usually hidden in the Fleuve Cendre, but I sent for someone to invite them over.
Invite them over?
Exactly. Now, I heard there's great coffee here, and so I asked them if they'd like...
Yeah, it's our pleasure to be guests of the Spina di Rosula.
I've wanted to have a meetup...
but... oh well.
Yes, that's me.
You're Essin?
Yes, Monsieur Neuvillette.
Did you write that threatening
I did, but I was just following orders.
Orders from whom?
Domenico. He was my boss. I couldn't disobey his orders.
Domenico? Where is he now?
The fortress of Meropide.
Well, I'm afraid even the Spina would have trouble looking into that place. Looks like you'll have to make the trip yourselves.
You've done more than enough.
Leave the formalities for later. You should find Domenico first. If he really is the one setting up the conspiracy, it'd...
All right then, let's head to the fortress.
It's Monsieur Neuvillette?
Welcome to the Fortress of Meropide, dear esteemed guests.
We're back! Oh, and a greeting from none other than the Duke himself! Guess we made a name for ourselves at this place.
This isn't anything new. I figured you had important matters to discuss when the two of you, not to mention the Chief Justice, showed up. Let's assume we've gone through the pleasantries and cut right to the chase. I do remember a thing or two about Domenico. He once attempted to round up the other inmates and instigate a protest.
Who does this guy think he is? Paimon hopes nothing can—
He once attempted to, I said, meaning that it was over before it even started. And now he's threatening Melazines, is he? To be honest, Domenico doesn't seem like much of a conspirator. The fact that the three of you bothered to personally investigate raises a flag. Is there something else going on behind?
He's got the same concerns we do.
I am concerned about this incident because something similar has occurred in the past.
That's an easy one. Let me think. I think he's at...
Oh, did I hear someone say Melazine? What happened? Sijuin! Yeah, and we're investigating. Really? Is Kiara—
There's no need to worry. Clara...
Well, that's great. But if the criminal's still— Is there anything you can—
Head nurse. Do you require...
Wriothesley?
Okay, I get it. I'll bring Domenico to you. That's your only demand, correct?
Think of it as more of a humble request. I'm here on my own accord, not to formally transfer a criminal for trial. I urge you to set aside any concerns. Thanks for the trouble. Consider me in your...
Whoa! If Paimon were the Duke, Paimon would take this chance to ask for something really important.
Well, were I still a criminal, I'd probably ask for a lighter sentence. But I'm sure Monsieur Neuvillette would reject that. But enough jokes. I'll look for Domenico and bring him to you. Make yourselves at home. Our dear head nurse has mentioned you quite a few times, so I'm...
Please come with me to the infirmary. And watch your step. There's some...
Now that I think about it, I can leave this place soon. Huh?
Please rest here for a moment. Oh, and would any... Paimon's not that thirst is a warning sign that you're dehydrated, which means you have... I'll bring you some tea. Typical Sijuin. Why aren't you two saying anything?
You noticed them too. The badges they wore on their chests looked quite
Familiar? But if both of you say so, let's go ask them about it.
That's not a bad idea. I will stay here and wait for news from...
Anything you need? Oh, this? Are you in?
What's that?
We have a very long history. We have never had many members throughout our history. Helping each other is our purpose.
Sounds like a pretty...
All we want is to defend, but people won't give us a hard time.
You two look... It's the symbol of the Mutual Aid Network design. From what I've heard, it's based on something called a Medal of Peace. I've never seen one of those medals. The first president... All of us have a lot of...
Interested in joining the If you'd like to learn more, here's... Our slogan may have... Here, the...
information. Let's head back and talk to Neuvillette.
Did you manage to get...
The people who wore the badges belong to an organization called the Mutual Aid Network. According to them, the badge's design was inspired by the Medal of...
I personally crafted 2 of them myself. They were awarded to Carol and Vautrin. Carol's medal was destroyed in a fire. The only one that remains should belong to Vautrin.
Oh, so the network...
Monsieur Neuvillette, His Grace has requested your presence in his office. He's found Domenico.
All right.
Allow me to introduce this fine gentleman, Domenico. Why don't you explain everything to him?
Neuvillette? What do you want?
Calm down. I merely... Was it your idea to send that letter to a Melusine? Hassan has already confessed, so they're really...
That idiot!
Let me ask this another way. Who is pulling your...
What? You're not trying to frame me for some...
It's best if you realize the gravity of your situation. The Chief Justice of Fontaine has been personally investigating your case. I assume your previous attempt to incite unrest at the Fortress of Meripede has something to do with this as well.
I admit I acted on impulse. I'll tell you the truth.
I can do that.
You see, we're all
I only intended to do some small business at first. Someone contacted me about delivering some goods and promised me a generous sum of more in return. After making a few trips, I was suddenly approached by the Marechaussee Phantom. They accused me of smuggling prohibited items, and I was put on trial. But I refused to accept any of that. The ignorant can be rightfully absolved from guilt, right? Well, I suspect that someone got me locked up here so they could get their hands on my goods.
And then you decided to take revenge on the Melusines?
My initial target was Neuvillette. Everyone in the Fortress of Meripede was declared guilty by him after all. But for some reason, no one wanted to team up with me. In the end, I had to redirect my focus onto Mel. I recall that Chiara was the one who confiscated my goods for inspection. So I asked one of the more approachable guards to send a letter, claiming that... But the letter was in fact addressed to Essa. I requested that he write a threat letter to Chiara and force it to resign.
Am I to assume that the claims you've made are your own thoughts? Have you been in contact with...
No.
Is it true that all members involved in the smuggling scandal have...
Yes.
Sijuin, please take him back to the detention center. I'll deal with him later. So, Monsieur Neuvillette, you were concerned that there might...
Yes. I experienced a similar incident.
And how long ago was...
More than 400 years.
You might be overthinking this. Time can change a lot of things.
What do you mean?
400 years ago, you and the Melusines you brought to Fontaine were the outliers in society. But in the present day, if someone were to threaten the safety of the Melusines...
That's right! We saw lots of people standing up...
Monsieur Neuvillette, the Melusines are a species you introduced to Fontaine. How the public treats them is also reflective of their... When people refuse to place their trust... For almost 500 years, you've conducted every trial with impartiality. You made the right judgment each time, regardless of whatever nonsense went on. People no longer have any reservations. Right now, your every decision will impact all of Fontaine.
Paimon gets it now. No wonder no one wanted to join forces with Domenico.
I am undeserving of such high It isn't anything special or worthy of praise. I'm simply fulfilling the promises I've made, and it is unnecessary to hold me in.
There's no need to be so modest. The current state of affairs says it all. You're no longer that outsider you were before. Even
I must say that you've made a fair. Thank you for clearing my doubts.
Huh? You're leaving?
And so soon, too? What?
Thank you for the offer, but while some are here to redeem themselves, there will inevitably. The less time I spend here, the better.
In that case, I'll have to insist. I still have two more things.
Please, go ahead.
The first is about the guard who helped Domenico send that.
I know of what you... The guard was indeed deployed from the Palais Memoria's staff. However, as I mentioned earlier, I visited today on personal business. Therefore, I leave that matter in your hands.
Well, that makes things a lot easier. Hey now, don't let your imagination run wild. Those from up there have a tendency to sympathize with others. However, down here, such thoughts will put you at high risk. I'll have a chat with the guard and remind him to take precautions in the future.
I see no issues.
Great! That's one thing out of the...
The other thing was born from my own sense of curiosity. Now, I've heard that you investigated the mutual aid network.
Yep. Neuvillette thought they're back.
I noticed the small gang as well when I first took over the fortress of Meropide. They were not great in number, but every member always made sure to stand up for what was right. I've looked into their founder, Vautrin, who once stood trial and was sentenced to imprisonment in the fortress. According to existing documentation, Vautrin remained disciplined throughout. In other words, how he presented himself in prison was very different from his behavior in...
What? During his trial, I could sense that his feelings were complicated. He appeared to be full of resentment, and I believe he...
Perhaps he had been putting on an act.
An act?
Neuvillette and Vautrin had a close relationship as superior and subordinate. Vautrin must have known that the Chief Justice would make an Thus, the more resentment he displayed, the clearer it would be, and to those who had been sitting on the fence, That's all from me.
I don't have anything to... Well then, let us head back.
Please, take care.
That trial is something I rarely bring up in conversation, but I have always felt deep regret for what happened to both Carol and Vautrin. The words he spoke in court often replay in my mind, as if urging me on to do something.
But Risley said he never resented you, right? Isn't that a good thing?
I believe I now understand what he wanted to tell me. I feel conflicted about those words. How should I describe it? Surprise, relief, fear, and regret. But this blend of emotions has led me to finally understand some things. I would like to hear your thoughts, too. What do you think of me?
Paimon agrees with everything Risley said. As Chief Justice, every single one of your trials makes an impact on Fontaine. What do you think, Traveler? Hey!
What I really think is, every trial you've ever judged has left its impression on you. And that's what makes you who you are today.
That is indeed a reasonable assumption. As I said, I find it difficult to express my emotions because I cannot fully understand myself. But I trust your judgment. Since some time ago, I have begun to notice the changes that have occurred upon my person. These changes were not due to any specific occurrence, but emerged as a result of time itself. I will try to contemplate this further. Thank you both.
Oh, huh? It's raining Paimon forgot to bring an umbrella! Come on, let's hurry before it rains harder!
It's raining again? I've had enough of this weather.
There go my travel plans.
Did you read the news this morning? Quick, put away everything on the clothesline.
When is this rain going to stop?
Hydro Dragon, don't cry!
They're planning to reanimate the monster. We have to report this to the Chief Justice.
The Fortress of Meropide. It's a good place for me.
He owes me so many answers.
Neuvillette? You could say he's the real symbol of Fontaine's justice.
Watch him closely. He could be trouble.
How can two completely different species possibly coexist?
Who's been threatening Melusines? Show yourself!
You will see much in the human world, from the delightful to the depressing. And one day, when you have dwelt among humanity long enough, you will be placed to bring judgment over all as a spokesperson for Fontaine's past.
Good morning, Monsieur Neuvillette! The rainy season's almost over! The skies are supposed to clear in a few days!
I hope you find time to enjoy the sunny days ahead.
Is the matter resolved?
Yep, we found the person who sent that threatening letter. Risley said he'd keep a close eye on him, so the Melusines should be safe now.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Sorry for drag.
There's no need to apologize.
Yeah, you didn't drag us in. We got involved.
By the way,
At the Palais Mermonia, more than 50 people. I was worried that the excess of protection would make her feel uneasy. So I asked her to.
Well, now it looks like the dust has to celebrate this joyous.
That's not how you sell.
I will. Of course. My schedule is full for the following weeks, but come up with questions during the intervening days.
Yes!
Now, if you'll excuse me, I hope it will assuage.
Oh, an exclusive! Don't let anything hold you back.
I agree. He'll decline any question he can't answer anyway, so you might as.
Kiara? It's quite all right.
Thank you, Monsieur. And thank you too, Traveler in Big Six.
Do you remember Domenico?
Let me think. By the way, in my dream, I can't remember what...
I can sense your...
Oh, I almost forgot. I promised to Mom...
Of course.
See you next time, Monsieur.
See you next time.